What actually happens when in less than 24 hours a K-pop idol not only tops the charts, but also symbolically shakes the hierarchy of the global music industry that has long been considered unshakable? Is this merely a fluctuation of digital numbers that will soon be forgotten, or a quiet hint that the axis of world music power is truly shifting? And how is it possible that one name, Jungkook, could stand above Western pop giants like Taylor Swift and Bad Bunny within the span of a single day that felt like a cosmic explosion in digital statistics? The title sounds like a sensation, perhaps even hyperbole, 24 hours that shook the world. Yet the data circulating in the public sphere shows something that cannot simply be ignored. On Friday morning GMT, around 10 a.m. Western Indonesian time, a post on Platform X by the fan account at PopJianch sparked a wave of cross-continental discussion. In a simple white background infographic with the watermark PopJianch, the rankings of 4 artists with the highest iTunes digital points in the last 24 hours were displayed. In first place, Jungkook recorded 552 points. Below him, Taylor Swift with 504 points, followed by Bad Bunny with 493 points, and Bruno Mars at 373 points. Those numbers may look like ordinary statistics to some, but for observers of the digital music industry, the gap raises much deeper questions. iTunes digital points are calculated based on song and album sales performance across various countries, where each regional chart position contributes a certain value. That means the dominance of 552 points was not the result of a single market, but a reflection of global, widespread, and simultaneous penetration. This was not merely a victory in one territory. It was an evenly distributed show of strength across different corners of the world. The post quickly gathered more than 1,998 likes, 530 reposts, and dozens of replies in a short time. Emotional responses flooded the comments section.
CONGRATULTIONS JUNGKOK 삽사인 JUNGKOK 삽사인 전국 로트1 유저.
Another added, Jungkook history maker hashtag please don't change hashtag we love you Jungkook. Someone else simply uploaded a photo of the artist with a single word loaded with meaning, aura. In the fast-moving digital world, spontaneous reactions like these often become early indicators that something bigger is happening. But is this really just about a solid and organized fan base? Or are we witnessing a new normalization in which K-pop artists are no longer viewed as exotic phenomena, but as the center of the mainstream? Jungkook is no stranger to global statistics. As a member of the phenomenal group BTS, he has tasted the top of the world charts multiple times. His solo projects, including the album Golden, have strengthened his identity as an artist with cross-cultural and cross-generational appeal. Yet this 24-hour moment feels different because of the competitive context. He did not stand alone in an empty space, but directly faced figures who have dominated global pop discourse for years. Taylor Swift is known for her militant fan base and spectacular sales records, while Bad Bunny has become a symbol of Latin dominance in the international streaming market. Bruno Mars, with a cross-decade catalog of hits, holds a reputation as a world-class entertainer. When Jungkook surpassed the 3 of them within the same parameter and identical time frame, the public naturally began to wonder, is this a temporary anomaly, or a sign of a new phase in the distribution of global music power? From an academic perspective, this phenomenon can be read as a consequence of digital globalization. Distribution platforms like iTunes allow simultaneous access in various countries without strict geographical boundaries. Fan communities, especially ARMY as the name for BTS fans, are known for having strong coordination in supporting their idols' releases. But reducing this phenomenon solely to the fanbase would ignore another factor, Jungkook's musical appeal and personal image, which continue to mature as a solo artist. Interestingly, the post was viewed more than 12,219 times in a relatively short period, showing attention that extended beyond the core fan circle. Social media then became a resonance space, amplifying the effect of those numbers. This is where the narrative of shaking the world found its momentum. The world may not have literally collapsed, but in the landscape of perception, the symbolism of this victory became extremely powerful. It touched emotion, collective pride, and even competitive sentiment among fandoms. Is this a sign of a major comeback? That question hangs in the digital air like an unanswered echo. There was no official confirmation of a new release in the context of that post. Yet history shows that every surge in Jungkook's performance is often followed by broader promotional dynamics or creative activities. It is this uncertainty that strengthens public curiosity, and in the end, these 24 hours became more than just a period of time. They transformed into a narrative about change, about how an artist from South Korea could stand on equal footing with, or even surpass, Western icons within the same metrics. This achievement adds to the long list of evidence that K-pop is no longer a regional phenomenon, but a global force that continues to assert its existence. If anyone still doubts its impact, the figure of 552 points now stands as an argument that is difficult to refute. And perhaps the most provocative question is not whether Jungkook was able to defeat Taylor Swift and Bad Bunny in 24 hours, but what will happen if the next 24 hours bring a similar surprise. The music world has changed many times throughout its history, yet every change always begins with a moment that seems small, but is loaded with meaning. Have we just witnessed one of them? If traced more deeply, the dynamics of those 24 hours were not merely about the figure 552 standing above 504 and 493, but about how global public perception reacted to that symbolic shift. In a fast-moving digital ecosystem, a gap of dozens of points can transform into a grand narrative about dominance, legitimacy, even cultural supremacy. Jungkook's name suddenly became the center of conversations across languages, time zones, and communities. The question is this purely the power of a fan base, or is there something more fundamental taking place? For years, the Western music industry has often been regarded as the primary center of gravity. Figures like Taylor Swift have built career empires with carefully measured release strategies, strong personal narratives, and nearly unshakable fan loyalty. On the other hand, Bad Bunny represents the Latin wave that has dominated global streaming, proving that language is no longer a barrier to international market penetration. When Jungkook surpassed both within the same period of time, the public seemed compelled to re-examine long-held assumptions about center and periphery in popular music. This phenomenon also demonstrates how the collective power of online communities operates with precision. ARMY is known as one of the most organized fandoms in the world, not only in terms of emotional support, but also in coordinated purchasing and streaming strategies. Yet to regard this achievement solely as the result of mobilization would underestimate the artistic quality being offered. The album Golden, which showcases Jungkook's vocal spectrum and musical exploration, has built a solid reputational foundation, ensuring that every digital momentum does not emerge from a vacuum. On Platform X, emotional reactions blended with national and global pride. The hashtags #Jungkook and #Sapsain Jungkook intertwined with #PleaseDon'tChange and #WeLoveYouJungkook, creating a wave of algorithmic visibility that expanded the reach of the news. Even those who initially did not follow K-pop developments were drawn into the discussion, whether in an appreciative or skeptical tone. This is where the drama lies. Numerical victory transformed into an arena of debate over cultural identity and market power. Interestingly, the point gap also opened discussion about how the iTunes scoring system works. Each country carries a certain weight, and dominance spread across multiple regions indicates cross-demographic appeal. Jungkook was not only strong in Asia, but also demonstrated penetration in Europe, the Americas, and other territories previously considered strongholds of Western artists. This is a concrete illustration of an increasingly fluid globalization of music. Will these 24 hours be recorded as an anomaly or as the beginning of a new phase of dominance? The history of the music industry shows that moments like these often become turning points in perception. When an artist from outside the Western mainstream is able to stand at the top of global metrics in direct competition, old narratives about who leads and who follows begin to crack. And within those cracks, a new possibility emerges, that the center of the music world no longer has a single address, but is instead scattered across different parts of the globe, with Jungkook as one of the most tangible symbols of that transformation.